Oh my God, what have I bought now? Well, we're gonna find out. So, you know what, I've said this before and I'm gonna say it again. Craigslist is like a drug that's too easily available, and although it has no long-term consequences except making you financially poor, it's hard to get off of it. So anyway, I set out, I had some excess money, and that's always a dangerous thing, and I've been without a truck for several months. I gave the other one basically to Uncle Phil. I traded him for this Plymouth back here that's become a parts car. You know, and that's just one of those things where, you know, you try to go through your life and help people and serve others and things like that. You have these opportunities come up where you can do that, and different people do it different ways. And I just identified a need that maybe Phil could use a truck, and I was trying to keep him out of debt because he's one of these that tries to, he goes as long as he can, then he's very well apt to take a loan out, and I was trying to keep him out of that. So I just basically traded him that truck, and we know that story. He's still driving it. So anyway, I thought, well, why don't I just amuse myself and go looking for a truck again? So when I get on Craigslist, I always apologize for the wind. We got a storm system coming in. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm sorry, but anyway, I'm looking around, and when I get on Craigslist, I usually set my financial limit very low. I think it started out like 1,000, and just really, that doesn't even get you anything that really runs down here, truck or car or anything else. Pretty much everything's busted. So I gave up on that. I spent about a week or so looking around. So anyway, upped it to about 1,500, and that got this one in that range. And this is a $1,500 truck, and this is what I bought for a $1,500 truck. This is a 1986 Chevy C20. It is a two-wheel drive. Even though it doesn't look like one, it's a two-wheel drive, and 3/4 ton truck. It's got a 350 with a turbo 400 and a 14-bolt rear end, 14 gears in it, and it's got dual tanks. It's got air conditioning, did have, so all of it's still there. And all that, so it was a pretty basic truck. It started out as tan, and it was originally from California, per the story. And it is a running and driving truck, and that's kind of a good thing for Craigslist, because a lot of times I get things that don't do either one or both of those. So the guy's been driving, it's been licensed and insured. He does drive it occasionally, the person I bought it from, and all that, and overall it's in pretty decent shape. But let's take a look at it and see what we got here. Somebody has spent some time and effort on this truck some time back, kind of making it into a pseudo military camo hunting truck type thing, and it wasn't the guy that I bought it from. Evidently it was the person before him. It's got the original wheels still on it, the 8 lugs. He put the back tires on it. I don't know where the front tires came from, but of course those are not very familiar with these kind of tires, but I know these are Super Swamper 36s. I think that's what they are. Yeah, 36. So all you guys know about that, 16s, whatever they are. So they're pretty big old tires, and it's of course home done military paint job. And the thing is this truck has a body lift on it. That's why it's got the attitude that it does. If you look right in there, of course you know what that looks like. You guys have done this. That's water dripping out of the bed right there, I think. I hope ain't nothing else to leak. So it's got the body lift thing going, and I wanted a 3/4 ton truck or above, because I've had half-ton trucks and I've been totally unimpressed with them for various reasons. Somebody has it's got the step bumper. Somebody has done some plate back here, just kind of screwed it on there to fill in the gap, because of course the bumper's still mounted to the frame and the body's up now, so it's got that gap, and it was pretty decently done, you know, for Craigslist. I don't know what I think about this deal here, but It's got a grommet in it. I mean, it's not poorly done, but looks like the bed has been, I don't know, rhino lined or something at some point in the past, but it has. These might have been the tires that were on it, and they look pretty decent. So we may put those up on Craigslist or something. There's a 255 7016s, so that could have been what was being run on them. There's only 3 of them, but looked like he threw his plate back in the back here. I thought he took it with him, but maybe he didn't. So anyway, this thing was full of crap when I went and looked at it. And that is the shield for the gas tank on that side. It's got dual tanks on it. He's put a new tank in it. He said the bottom rusted. It had some leaves and stuff he said got in it. So it looks kind of unusual because the tanks are still sitting on the frame and all that, and they're kind of lower than they really should be. So I don't know about this body lift stuff, but I'm not, it's not something I'm gonna change. I like the way it looks. It's got the lugs going, and it's pretty solid. It's missing a brace right here, looks like, somewhere. That's not supposed to be moving like that. It's supposed to have another one of those, I think. It does have a little bit of rod in it over here. In fact, this may be a little bit of mud in it, I think, possibly right here in this rocker. But when you open the door up, you can see that it's got a rot spot in the top of the rocker here, and this floor is getting punky right here because evidently it's been leaking somewhere. The wind has been leaking, or the windshield or something's been leaking, and it's kind of munged it up there. So that's something in the future will need attention. But I see the door pin switch is jammed in, and the dome light bulb is out of it, and the cover is off, and that is in the glove box up there. I saw it last night. So that's, I kind of cringe at that, because people, what they say that people are up to no good like to do it in the dark. So, and we got some random speaker stuff going, but I don't care about that. Doors closed good. Like I said, it's supposed to be a California truck, so it doesn't have the rot issues that a salt truck like anything from up north have. It's got a lot of mold on it, some mildew and stuff, so I think this truck's been sitting quite a long time. So, anyway, we'll open the hood up. We'll look probably at the interior, and then we'll open the hood up. But this thing's got an auxiliary fan up here, and he said that the guy that had it in California had done that because it tried to run hot on him, I guess, in the desert out there. There's something going on there, but looks like the window. That feels a lot like plastic. I think that's plexiglass. It's got a decent windshield in it. Happy to see that. Yeah, that is plexiglass because there's no, notice what's missing? It doesn't have any handle on it. So it's supposed to have a handle on it like that one. It's gone because it's been replaced. So the floor over here looks better that I can see. This is a cheap spray on undercoat and stuff, so it's done cheap, and the speakers just kind of, whoops, sorry about that. Let's do that again. I was saying the floor looks pretty decent over here, and as I said, this is this cheap spray on undercoating crap, and the speakers just kind of flopping here on one screw, I think. So the seat's hashed like they all are at this age. This truck came with velour upholstery. Something's crawling my hand here. Get off of me. Velour upholstery, and if I ever decide to rebuild this seat, it'd be probably go back with vinyl. LMC sells seat kits, but that's down the road. Just wondering here why this is here. This is, I'm gonna cover the vent up, but got this sticker in here with the vent on it, and it says 86 Chev. I don't know. But this is not a military truck that I'm aware of at all. Look at the seat belt. It's chopped off. That's okay though, because you still use this part of it and just go down. You don't have to have a lap part, it's fine. But anyway, just a basic truck. It has a stock for cruise control, which that's unusual on this one. I'll get under the hood and see if it actually has cruise. It's got an aftermarket radio which works. It's got a dash cover. Whoops. The dash is kind of cracked up, but it's not, you know, it ain't as bad as that Ram was. I don't ever want another Dodge, not like that. So, no. Anyway, just your standard issue pickup. Custom Deluxe. Doesn't even have a headliner yet. Or I never came with one. That's why I find it odd to have a cruise control stock in here, but let's pop the hood and look at it. Yeah, I just went ahead and made this video because I don't like to watch teases and then you have to wait to find out what it was. There you go. Here's a nice old greasy 350 in all its glory. He said it still has the quadrajet in it. It started easy and it runs good. It's got some vacuum lines disconnected or plugged right there. That's supposed to be that thing with the stem sticking out of the middle. That's supposed to be a some sort of thermostatic vacuum switch. So at some point I'll pull this air cleaner off and look and make sure that we don't have any open vacuum lines and stuff like that. But all the air conditioning stuff is here. This is a thin radiator. It's got something here that I can't read. It says, oh shit, accurate custom, what's that say? Accurate custom, shit, I don't know, but it's on 3rd Avenue in Yuma, Arizona, and that's the hottest part of the Southwest right there in that area, one of the hottest. So he's done some brake work on it. He's done some brake lines and stuff. I see some brake fluid and things and some, yeah, that's what I thought. This transmission's got a bit of a leak because it was low yesterday when I test drove it. Let's put a master cylinder on it. It does have cruise. Check that out. There's the unit for it back there. It's unusual. These manifold looking deals here. This truck was a California emissions truck, and so that's part of the air injection, which is the pump's missing now. But, shit, look at that. There's a truck right on cue. Train coming, I mean, sorry. Got this stuff going. Got the fairly fresh battery. Let me let that train go by. Oh, so anyway, this looks like it's had a remanufactured alternator put on it, and the shroud, the bottom part of the fan shroud is missing for some reason. So anyway, he said the guy told him this engine had been replaced, but I don't think so, because that's, like I said, that's not common to have those emissions control pipes on it like that outside of California. So I believe this is the original engine. If somebody's goofed up right here, they weren't paying attention to what they were doing. You see how this is disconnected right there? That's your crankcase breather, and that was done to do that, because you see how it doesn't reach over there? Well, there's 2 holes in this thing. It's supposed to go in that one, and they put it in the wrong one. This probably went, this was probably the fresh air for the smog pump that drew off the air cleaner. And the crankcase filter, which is inside the air cleaner, is supposed to be, if it's still there, it's supposed to be over there. So you're not supposed to run with this thing disconnected, because it just draws in just dirty air into the engine. The guy that I bought from, he's real nice, and I'm not trying to run him down at all. You know, I don't know. I don't think he did much to it, but you know, somebody said the painter's house always needs paint. Well, you know, you can buy a car from a mechanic, and it needs more than one would need if you didn't sometimes. But probably the smog pump might have been down there, as I see a lot of crap going on with brackets and stuff. But we're probably going to end up at some point when I have some time. It's nothing. I got other stuff I got to get on with here, so I don't plan to be using this much during the winter. Just maybe haul some wood with and maybe stuff like that. So probably when it starts to warm back up again in the spring, I'll probably go through and redo the vacuum lines and give this thing a tune-up and put new belts and hoses and stuff like that. Just make it reliable, because that's all this stuff with these battery cables, that's just a problem waiting to happen. So I'll probably spend some time buying some parts and stuff there. What do you think happened there? Hey, Craigslist, man, Craigslist. That's the way it is, guys. Down here, you either have cheap or you have nice, but you don't have cheap and nice. And a random cable going to something here. That might be what's going out. That looks like is it me, or does that look like a household electrical extension cord? It's going in there somewhere. Looks like it. Looks like that's what's running the electric fan. There it is. You've got the ground cable still in it. Let's all laugh together, shall we? Now, like I said, the previous owner, you know, he's around here. Maybe he might be watching these videos, so it wasn't him that did this. He just, you know, he just owned it and used it and enjoyed it for a little while. So let me restart this. We're getting up towards 20 minutes, you know. So yeah, it's gonna need a air conditioning and power steering belt for sure. In fact, I'm not sure that's routed the right way. That looks kind of strange. Yeah, that's, the compressor feels good. Yeah, we have to deal with that. A couple pieces of wood stuck in there. Probably holding the headlight or something up. Yep, you have cheap or you have nice, but you don't have cheap and nice. So I guess we'll have to investigate inside where that cable's going. I guess there's probably going to be a switch someplace that's going to turn on the fan somewhere, maybe. Now, the deal with the gas tank, that's where the switcher goes, is the selector switch, but they took the switch out completely so it would not. He said he figures the other tank over there's got a bunch of bad gas in it, so. Oh man, this thing's ain't gonna work anyway. They're either jammed in or jammed out. I don't know which, but I guess it's gonna have to have a couple of those things, those pin switches, at some point. Well, I see the cord coming in. There it is. I'll keep that fan. I'm not gonna take the fan off of it because that'll come in handy if it works good. But it needs to be. You can't, guys. You can't run an electric fan just off of a household extension cord with no relay or anything. That's dangerous, man. Some people know just enough about electrics to be dangerous. It's got a sliding rear window. That's good. One thing I noticed, something's up with the front end wiring on it, because when I turn on the park lights, both of these turn signal bulbs light up, and that usually means there's a short in it or something. It's feeding back through the wrong side of the circuit, and none of this lights up. Headlights work, but the rest of it doesn't. So anyway, guys, it's just a good old Craigslist cheap truck, and it's just another one of these things that piqued my interest, and it's like a lot of stuff I've bought off Craigslist, like that Valiant and the white car and this. I guess just about everything is that I sort of, I glanced at it and went on past, and then I stopped as I was looking through another page or two of Craigslist stuff, and I thought, well, you know what? Let's go look at that again, because I might could work with this. You kind of like, I passed this up because I thought, it's just camouflage. It looks kind of redneck, I thought, And then I went back and I thought, well, I mean, what is it? What am I actually looking at? And I said, hey, that's a 3/4 ton truck. It's probably got a big rear end on it, heavy springs and stuff, and probably got a turbo 400 in it that year and that size. I said that thing would be good to pull and haul and stuff, So I went back and looked at it. I thought, I could work with this. I can do something with this. I like to buy stuff that has potential. Like, it may not be in good shape when I buy it, but it has potential, So that's what I look at. I've looked at a lot of stuff, and I've owned some things that didn't have any potential. All right, well. Okay, what's up with this? Oh, I know what's going on here. Look at this. Somebody has put on. If it wasn't Craigslist, I wouldn't believe it. Somebody has put on this is an auto dimming mirror, but the thing about auto dimming mirrors is they run off electricity. So if there's no electricity going to it, it's not going to work. So it's no longer an auto dimming mirror. This is just a mirror. It's not even dimmable. You have to take and move the thing around, So anyway, that's all right. It's no big deal. No picking nits. So, okay, I guess that's about all to say about this. So, you guys are always so smart about stuff. A lot of you just know so much more about these things than I do. So, give me your ideas, not so much what you would do with it, I guess, but give me your ideas about I don't know, like about, maybe I want to put a hitch on the back of it, so I don't know what would be done without sitting here thinking about it a lot. I don't know what would be done about this bumper to get it back up where it's, where I can't put a hitch on it because, well, wait a minute, yeah, I can. Yeah, I just confused myself, didn't I? Yeah, I could do that as long as it was clear. I was thinking that the frame would be up too high now, but somebody's had duals on this and I took them off. I didn't show you the exhaust, did I? Let's look at this rear end real quick. You ready? Here you go. No, I'm kidding. I'm only joking. All right, let's. Wow. One thing's good, I don't have to try to scrounge my way under this. I don't know if this is a positive traction or not. But it's definitely there's a semi-floating and a full floating 14 bolt, and I believe this is probably the semi-floating version of it, but you can tell me. Like I said, you guys know. So somebody had duals on it, and they turned them down. I'm gonna get out here and I'll go back up front a little bit and get under it. I'll show you something up here that's kind of intriguing. All right. Okay. First thing I noticed, here's the side that he put the tank in, and he left that thing out. So really, you need to have that shield, I think, on here. So what I would probably do is, I guess the shield goes on the outside. That's right. Okay, that's no problem. Yeah, looking at that one over there, it's bolts on here. He just left it off. That's good. That's not that hard to deal with then. I was gonna say, because you kick up stuff, you don't want to keep your tank from being punctured. So first thing I noticed is somebody has been under here with a, looks like they had the drive shaft. They had the drive shaft worked on or replaced. That's Yuma, yeah. I don't know if I said that very well, but Yuma is a very hot location in southwestern Arizona. It's right on the border with California. So I can imagine this thing would try to run hot, especially with that original radiator in it. So that may be something that I address coming up later. And somebody tell me what that is right there. That thing has got brake lines running into it, and it has a lever coming down. What is that? But look at this. This thing's got, these look like actual Flowmasters. You know, Flowmaster, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Flowmaster lost the rights to the design of this, the copyright on it, or whatever they call that. So, but look, this thing's got miniature catalytic converters in it. I guess they're working because this muffler's like, I can put my hand on it, but this catalytic converter is warm. So, two-piece drive shaft. Pretty nice looking exhaust on it. Yeah. Exactly what we got going here, you reckon? Yeah, somebody spent a little bit of money on this truck. They really did. You know, it needs the usual little bit of detailing, but it's not that bad. Not for the money. And, you know, $1,500 for a truck gets you different things, different places. Up north, it probably gets you like a pile of scrap metal. And down here, it just like it gets you what you see. You have just a truck that is got a lube point on it. That's good. Gets you a truck that's running and driving, but this needs, you know, a fair amount of minor to moderate attention. But it's usable as is. And then someplace out west, you know, I don't know what it would get you. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm just kind of rambling. So I know a lot of you guys like these square body trucks, and I like them too. I've had a few of them. I like that these springs look like they're still strong. That's good. Their arch good. I had when I was a kid, we had a 73. First one I ever saw was a 73 Chevy Cheyenne two-wheel drive half-ton. And my dad bought that in 1980, and by then it was 7 years old, and it had been run so hard that it was mostly worn out. The engine was mostly worn out. It had to put a timing chain in it. And we had that truck for a pretty good long time. We used it when my brother raced. We used it to tow a race car with and stuff, and it did pretty good. Went through a couple transmissions and one engine. And then when I started buying my own stuff, I bought a 75 long bed. Wasn't a Cheyenne, it was it wasn't a Silverado, it was a Bonanza, I think it was. And it was pretty rough. It was rusty in the bed, and the transmission was going out in it. The engine ran good. So I got a junkyard transmission put in it and ran it for a while, and I sold it. And then I bought a non-running 76 Suburban 3/4 ton C20 Suburban two-wheel drive with a 454 and a 400 and a 373 rear end in it, and kept it for a while, which I should have kept that truck. And then I had a 83 Silverado short wheelbase two-wheel drive with a 305 in it that had it was a nice truck all over, pretty clean, everything, but the engine ran okay, but it had a burnt valve, a valve seat that receded, or it has a burning in a valve or something, because it would miss when it was at lower RPM. It'd try to miss one cylinder, try to go down. And I sold that truck, and man, I got more than what I paid for it. That thing sold right away. And then I think this was the next one after that. Let me think. Oh no, I had that 79 that I was working on. And I don't know if I ever really explained about that. That reason why I decided to hang it up on that 79, that cheap rehab deal for that truck, is because I got in there and was looking at it one day, looking at the transmission, and that truck had rust in the frame back over the back wheels that I had never noticed before. So I thought, yeah, I've went as far as this as I want to. So I passed it along. Well, I'm going to move this thing over, guys, to my kind of out of the way area right here. So I'll take you for the big 50-foot ride here. Boom. Get out of here, wasp. We need to let Uncle Phil ride this thing. He'd love it, wouldn't he? Is the key in it? Yeah. All right. Somebody's asked me this, so why didn't you? Well, you didn't ask me, but you said not a Mopar. It wasn't a Mopar, and I'll be quite frank with you. I like Mopars, but I've never really thought much Dodge trucks, at least the later ones, like from about the late 70s on up. The 90s versions are all over Craigslist, cheap, and just don't think much of them. Oh, and as an addendum, well, no, I'm not going to do that addendum because that's on another video that I haven't put up yet, but I'll do that. I'm going to walk over here and do an addendum to a video I've already filmed, which I'll put up in a day or two. So, all right, guys, thank you for watching, and probably not going to be doing a lot of stuff with this truck right now. Like I said, I'm just going to service it and just kind of check it and make sure it's safe to drive and everything and all that, and just use it during the winter a little bit here and there. And when I got some time, I'll fool with it a little bit. So there you go. My CUCV, which is not a CUCV. See you.